This is exactly how you stop fumbling the bag on what you want. I'm Dom Jackson with David A Media, and this is the 7-Day Scoop Show, my weekly show where I document my career and decisions that I'm making, your adventures trying to pursue, where I use my stories and my ventures to motivate and teach you. The process of getting my van, been learning a lot of things out here in Houston, doing some more training. And one of the biggest things that I've seen this week to avoid fumbling the bag, and in general, is that now that I'm looking at a whole operation in a business, there's so many little steps of things that have to go right in succession to make sure things go correctly. That being said, from a customer getting a sale, to getting servicing, to getting done, to someone coming in and being hired as a recruit, then being an employee and then working their entire time. So, within these different processes of what you're trying to accomplish, there's always going to be steps inside your system to get to the next phase. And you have to make sure box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. always happens the same way at the same timing frame, because I had some instances this week where 1 and 2 weren't done right, so then 3 and 4 weren't done right, and then 5 wasn't done right. Now, if you fix something in the first problem, it's usually pretty fixable. But if something's not fixed within 5 steps, usually the person who's on that messed up side ends up being upset and things end up being a lot more hectic. And, we had a customer who process took a little bit longer than we thought. We didn't fulfill everything in the cadence that we usually would time-wise, and they ended up being upset about it. Ended up being more of a deal than it needed to be. But we didn't get steps 1 and 2 right, so 3, 4, and 5 weren't even a thing. So if you're trying not to fumble the bag of what you're trying to do, you gotta make sure you know what your 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are, and know how to make sure they happen at the same point consistently every single time. Next thing I learned this week about not fumbling the bag is that you don't realize how much faster you are learning something until it becomes automatic because you're already focused on the next thing. Now, one of the things I've been working on my sales pitch, following that same point of going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the steps of how I get it done, I've been practicing looking at people in the eyes instead of showing them the actual screen of a tablet or phone that I'm using when I'm presenting them for sales. And when I started doing this in February, I was like, it wasn't very good. People weren't really buying for me for doing that. But then I realized previous week that I was doing it automatically, and I wasn't even thinking how I was doing it. Like, I was just doing it. And I was doing it and it was working. I had a day where I was closing a lot of people, and I got like 11 sales in one day. It was a good day. I got a good amount of sales in a day, and it felt like my other fast, high-paced days. And I was doing that without even thinking about it, because I didn't realize that I started doing it in February, and now in May, I already have that down so much that I'm not even questioning the fact that I'm doing it. Next part of my system, how I do my sales pitch, I've been working a lot more on my tone. So now I'm like, hey, your key's gonna be $380, which your membership key is now gonna be $199. And like, I start off a lot lower at one point, then I come back up and bring it up a little bit higher. And I've been really working on practicing having that like low and high wave coming up a lot more, because it's been working. It really adds more emphasis to the thing I'm really trying to say lower, but then everything I'm trying to bring up higher sounds a lot more exciting. And I mean, doing it now, I haven't done it as much during regular day-to-day conversations, but in my sales pitch, it's like, and I was doing that automatically a lot this week, which is why, I had better results those certain days than other days. So now I'm understanding more and more that, like, if you want to not fumble the bag in what you're doing, you have to know what your actual steps are and stick to those steps consistently so you can know how to practice them and have the right reps. Biggest tips for not fumbling the bag: 1, make sure you do the same thing enough times to know how to get it right. 2, make sure you follow the steps of that same thing. And then 3, take it one step at a time. You'll get there day by day.